Carter? Carter? Here, what's wrong? What's happened?
Jeez, what happened? You need a hand?
No, thanks, Mr. Palmer. I'm sure you've got enough to do without wasting your time here.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Carter, tell me, what's wrong? What's happened? I've just found her. I don't know, there doesn't seem to be any signs of a fight. I don't know what's wrong.
What's she doing in this area?
Oh, beats me. Look, we'll get her to a dorm. Have Sister Kelly look at her. Come on. You right?
I know you don't understand everything that's happened. You couldn't, not yet. But I just couldn't stand it anymore, love. As much as I loved your daddy, he was often cruel to me. Very cruel. So, just try and understand, okay?
You killed my dad.
Jilly, darling, I love you. I just...
Let's talk seriously here for a minute, love. You're gonna have to tell Philip that you're already married. You can't expect that poor guy to think he's going to marry you any day.
Oh, you're right, Judy. And you're such a wonderful friend.
Maybe if you put her in with the other women straight
No, I
away,
don't
it
think
might
that'd
be-
work. They have been giving her the silent treatment.
I'll have a talk to them. Of course, we should have a social worker for this sort of thing. I've been asking them for a lot.
Police have just left, Governor.
And the body?
They're taking her now.
You all right? I think maybe you'd better sit down for a minute.
Funny, isn't it? It's not the first dead body I've seen, or even the first suicide. But all this just seemed to happen so fast.
And you have become more personally involved than you normally would.
Not by choice.
No, but you did go out of your way to try and help Colson's daughter.
Yeah, I suppose so. I should have stayed out of it. It was stupid bringing Jill here. I just never realised it would have such disastrous results.
You mustn't blame yourself, Joan. Colson was nearer the edge than we thought. And getting the silent treatment from the other women wouldn't have helped either. Maybe you'd better take the rest of the day off.
Won't be necessary. Quite capable of finishing my shift, if that's all, Governor.
Yes. I'll phone the welfare home and try to get them to break the news to Jill.
If you don't mind, I'd rather do that.
You sure? Won't be easy.
Yes, I know, but... Well, somehow I think Jill would rather hear it from me. I don't know, maybe I can explain it all to her.
All right, Joan. Thank you. Oh, you free, Mrs. Reynolds? Yes, Meg, what is it?
It's Brandy Carter. I'd like you to come and have a look at her. She's with Sister Kelly.
Yes, of course.
If you ask me, she's just another one trying to pull a Swifty.
You'll never guess. Hey, Roger, oh, sorry. You'll never guess what I've just seen.
What?
A body being carried out of Carol Colson's cell on a stretcher.
A body? You mean a dead body?
Well, I hope so, because would have had a lot of trouble breathing if it wasn't. It was covered in a plastic bag.
Blimey, who was it?
What do you mean, who was it? Carol Colson, of course.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure. We were cleared out of the corridor, and one of the girls who was on cleaning duties reckoned she saw it, and it was Carol Colson who killed herself.
Well, how'd she do it?
Hung herself with her stockings.
Geez, they're going down like flies, aren't they? I wonder why she did it.
Well, she's pretty down anyway, and us sending her to Coventry wouldn't have helped.
Oh, come off it. Plenty of people had that treatment. They haven't committed suicide.
We couldn't handle what she did to her husband and kid.
Well, first time I've come in here and found you lot so quiet. What are you up to?
Nothing. Is it true that Carol Colson's killed herself, Miss Ferguson?
Where'd you get that story from?
No, I just heard it.
Well, you mustn't believe all you hear, Birdsworth.
But she is dead, isn't she?
Yes.
How?
Come on, Daniels, Bradshaw, you've got a visitor.
you feeling any better?
Have you learned anything?
There's nothing physically wrong as far as I can tell, although she's not cooperating at all, which makes things rather difficult.
You don't think it's an act?
I don't think so. If it is, it's a good one.
Drugs?
She doesn't show any signs.
Carter, can you stand up? Well, come on then, on your feet. Well, your balance seems to be all right. Why did you suddenly collapse in the corridor? Don't just shake your head. Speak.
I don't know. I can't remember.
All right, you can lie down again.
I strongly advise you call in a doctor. This is right out of my realm.
Yes, I think you're right.
Well, I never thought I'd be visiting you in here. What happened?
It was all a mistake. Cops get it in for you and you don't stand a chance.
Yeah, but what are you in here for?
Fencing stolen goods, so they reckon. Don't worry. It was a setup. I'll be out by tomorrow afternoon.
But what if you're not?
So I'll have the baby in here. What difference does it make?
In jail?
Just because the mother's a jailbird doesn't mean the kid will turn out to be one.
I didn't mean that. I meant, well, can they look after everything all right in here? Andrea's getting very excited. I should hate anything to go wrong.
Look, they've got a hospital ward and doctors on call, even a maternity wing. I'm not the first pregnant girl they've had in here, you know. Anyway, like I said, I won't be in here after tomorrow, so I need some more money.
What do you mean, more money? I've already given you what we agreed on. You'll get the rest when the baby's turned over to us.
If I don't get more money, and fast, you don't get the baby.
No, you can't do that. We've got a written contract.
So? Sue me. I'm ready to go back now, Miss Ferguson. You think about it. I'm sure you don't want to disappoint two expectant mothers.
We can't make it out, Doctor. I mean, up until now, she's been mostly a tough, pushy sort of a girl. Suddenly, she's done the complete opposite. We can't get Boo out of her.
Did anything happen that might have caused it? Time in solitary or a bashing?
Well, she hasn't been in solitary. As far as I know, she hasn't suffered any physical abuse.
Well, I'll check her over and have a talk to her. Maybe we'll come up with something.
Right. Well, I'll be in reception if you need me.
All right, sister, who do we have here? Brandy, isn't it? I'm Dr. Hodges. It seems like you're having a bit of a problem. Why don't you tell me about it? Oh, now, come on. That's not going to do any good. Just try and tell me what you think is wrong.
I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know. These strange things keep happening to me, and I can't remember. I can't tell you what it's like. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
God, that's awful. That poor woman.
Yeah. Knocked us rotten when we heard. I mean, even though we had it in for her for trying to kill her kid, it still gets to you. Not a nice thing to come back to, eh?
No. Anyway, honey, how about you? You know, it was a pretty decent thing you did for your sister and brother-in-law. Dumb, but decent.
Oh, no big deal. I mean, he would have botched it up anyway, and it would have killed Mum if he got caught. At least she expects it from me.
Honey, why don't you try telling your mother the truth? I mean, it might change her feelings about you.
Nah, if she knew, then she'd never forgive Roger and Pauline. I wouldn't like to see that happen. Well, they're all she's got now.
Huh. Well, there's some justice in the world, after all.
Pauline's not bad, and Roger just needs a good kick up the bum. Anyway, I told you I'd be better off back here with me mates. Well, they're me family now. Which reminds me, guess who walked in here a couple of days ago?
Who?
Me old mate, Roxanne Bradshaw. We go way back. We used to see you could pinch the most stuff in a day when we were kids. God, we had some good times.
Yeah, and I'll bet no prizes for guessing what she's in here for.
You got it? Fencing. But the big news is she's up the duff.
Oh, well, that is big news, isn't it?
Yeah, but she did it on purpose, see? This married couple are paying her $20,000 to have the kid so that they can adopt it. Not a bad lurk, eh?
Yeah, well, that's not the first time that sort of thing's been done. But you do know it is against the law.
Yeah, well, what is it?
Did the Screws know about it?
Don't think so.
Uh-huh. Well, I hope this married couple have a good lawyer, because they could end up without the baby or the money.
Fair income.
Now, what's this? Am I interrupting a union meeting? What are you doing here, Birdsworth? It's a pile of laundry outside the maternity wing.
I'm just about to go, Miss Ferguson.
If I come in here and find the lot of you loafing again, you'll all be on report.
Hey, Roxy, who was your visitor? Wasn't Westy, was it? Oh, that creep.
No. It's the father of this little bundle.
Well, what did he want?
It's not what he wanted. I told him I had to have some more money.
Well, what for? I mean, he's already paid you the first half.
Oh, don't you start. The cops have killed that, haven't they? I might as well be broke.
Yeah, well, that's not his fault. I mean, he's already kept his part of the bargain.
Oh, God, you sound like his bloody echo. Listen, he's in a much better position than me to get his hands on some dough. I've got to think about the baby. And me.
You? Thinking about the baby? What a laugh. All you're thinking about is that $20,000. I know plenty of girls who'd give their kids away.
Yeah, well, I'm in a bit of a jam, aren't I? Nothing else I can do. I'll be out of here after tomorrow and I've got to look after myself. I can hardly get a job, can I?
Well, you should have thought about that in the first place, shouldn't you?
I just can't understand how you could do it. Have a kid, I mean, and just give it up like that. I had my little girl adopted out years ago. You know something? I only ever saw her for a minute, and I still miss her. I suppose I could have accepted it if she died. But knowing she's out there somewhere, walking around, never being able to lay eyes on her to see how she turned out. Rips the guts out of me at times.
Well, that's a problem I won't have. Because I know where my kid's going and who's looking after her. Any time I feel low about it, I can just pop by and have a look at her.
Oh, come on. Don't be an idiot all your life. I wouldn't mind being the minute you hand over that baby they'll move interstate or change their name. They're hardly going to run the risk of you turning up on their doorstep any time of the day or night.
Well, who cares? I'll still have the money, won't I? I can always have another kid.
Yeah, a regular baby factory.
Ah, there you are. I was wondering where you'd got to.
Just grabbing a quick cup. Anything wrong? Oh, Doctor, like a cup of coffee while I'm making one?
No, thanks, Mrs. Reynolds. Must rush.
Well, what have you come up with?
Nothing definite, unfortunately. She appears to be suffering from acute depression. I've prescribed some Valium for the present, but if she doesn't improve, Sister Kelly will be in touch with me.
So you think it's a psychological problem?
It looks that way, but just how deep it is, I'm not really qualified to say. If the Valium has no effect, then I think it would be advisable to call Weissman in.
Well, we'll keep an eye on her, Doctor. And thank you for answering the call so quickly.
My pleasure.
I'll take you through to reception.
Even greater pleasure. Mrs.
Bye.
Morris?
Hello. Black with 2 sugars?
Hello.
Who was the bloke? Looked like he was either a doctor or a plumber.
Right the first time. Dr. Hodges.
I see. Don't tell me Ferguson's bitten somebody and there's been a minor outbreak of rabies.
You're just what I needed. Actually, I was hoping you might be able to get through to one of the new prisoners.
Is it the pregnant one?
No, this is someone I feel as though I've met somewhere, but... Oh, she's got big problems.
Well, fire away.
Carter? This is Judy Bryant. She may be able to help you when you get out.
Hi, Brandy.
Well, I'll leave you to it.
Thanks, Miss Morris. Well, I hope you don't think I'm a nuisance dropping in like this, but I was here on one of my regular visits. I thought we'd get acquainted, you know. I'm the one that's going to help you when you get out of here. Find accommodation and a job, you know, get back on your feet.
I've already got a job and somewhere to live.
Well, I don't mean the game. I mean a proper job. There's no future in prostitution. Not unless you call popping in and out of here all the time a future.
Prostitution?
Yeah, well, that's what you're in here for. Soliciting, resisting arrest, assaulting an officer, contempt of court. I mean, for someone on a first conviction, you're certainly making up for lost time.
Excuse me, what did you say I was convicted of?
Soliciting, resisting arrest, assaulting an officer, contempt of court. And didn't they read out the charges to you when you were inducted? Brandy?
I'm sorry, I have a bit of a headache. Would you mind?
You all right, honey?
Yes, I'd just like to be by myself, please.
Yeah, sure.
David, we paid what was agreed.
I know, honey. But this is the kind of risk we knew we'd be taking when we first went into it.
But how can she do that? You're the father. I would have been the mother. Oh, God.
Darling, don't.
I knew she couldn't be trusted from the start. I want that baby. We've waited so long.
I know. Look, if I had the money, I'd give it to her. But we know that, from experience, that women sometimes change their minds about giving up the baby, and I can't afford to change it for her.
She's putting up the price because she knows how much it means to us.
Yes. And she's out of luck. And there is no way she's going to keep the money she's already had. George Haley has made out a contract to protect us against that kind of thing. I'll see him tomorrow.
Oh, David, it's not the money. Thousands of women are having babies they don't even want. Babies they don't even care about or look after properly. Why can't I have one?
Andrea, don't.
I'd be such a good mother.
Look. At least we've got each other. That's what's really important, isn't it?
Yes, I know, darling, I'm sorry. It's just that, well, I'm so disappointed, that's all. I'll be all right.
Well, if you ask me, I reckon she's a bit of a nutcase.
You should complain. You have to share a cell with her. I never know what mood you're going to wake up in from one day to the next.
You are late, Carter.
I'm sorry, I have to go to the toilet.
Are you feeling all right? Go on.
Hey, Brandy, you're looking a bit funny today. Still getting over your session with Joe in the boiler room.
Well, go on, shove off, go and get your breakfast. You've got to keep your strength up. I do hear the tradesmen are lining up to work in here.
See, I told you. She's not the full queen.
You don't think she's dangerous, do you?
Well, she's supposed to have bashed a cop.
She's no powder puff. You don't have to worry, Phyllis. You're in her good books. She has paid you off for keeping it while she was getting off, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is strange. I wouldn't like to cross her.
I told you I had misgivings about this right from the start. I know, George. Look, I'm not blaming you. It just seemed worth risking at the time. But we are protected.
Well, as much as we can be. You're aware that it's illegal to contract a woman to be a surrogate mother, which is why we had to go about it through the back door, so to speak. See, the contract's written in the form of a loan of $10,000 to Bradshaw to be repaid on demand after a period of 12 months. So at least you can recoup the money after that time, provided there's any money left.
Which is doubtful.
I know it's not much compensation, but at least she has no claim on the rest of the money until the baby is handed over to you, signed, sealed, and delivered.
George, you know how Andrea has set her heart on this baby. Which she could have a breakdown if it should fall through now.
You mustn't go for that, David. It's emotional blackmail. Now, there's no guarantee you'll get the child in the long run anyway. Bradshaw can take you for all you give her, and then when the baby's born, sell it to the highest bidder.
I am the natural father. I mean, it's my baby. I mean, surely I've got some rights.
Well, with an illegitimate child, the father has virtually no rights. You see, there's no way of proving conclusively that the child's yours.
What about blood tests?
A blood test would just indicate that you could be the father. I'm sorry, David. It looks like you picked the wrong girl.
Well, look at you, the little innocent pregnant mum.
Well, I hope the magistrate feels the same way.
Oh, he's sure to. You look so serene and lovely. He'll take one look at you and you'll be out of there before you can say jackknife.
Yeah, don't forget to keep in touch and let us know how you are.
Seems sort of sad that you're leaving. I was looking forward to having a little new baby around the place. They're so cuddly and they hold on to you and, oh, they smell so sweet.
We'll come and visit you, Lizzie.
Will you, love? He can pretend that I'm his grandma. Oh, come on. You'll be lucky to even get one look at it, let alone take it visiting.
Ready, Bradshaw?
Ready.
Good luck, Roxy.
Goodbye, love.
Bye, all.
Bye. See ya.
You know, Lizzie, I'm really going to miss her.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Anybody who'd sell their babies pretty low in my book.
Thanks, Joan.
Oh, I went to see young Jill Colson this morning. She took the news very badly.
Poor child. Losing both parents so close together. It's very good of you to go and see her. Not an easy thing to do.
She kept remembering her visit here. She thinks her mother killed herself because she thought that Jill didn't love her anymore. And the hardest thing was walking away and leaving the kid in that welfare home.
Well, that's one thing you don't have to worry about anymore. I've just been on the phone to the welfare department. They contacted Colson's sister again. Now that Carol's gone, they've reassessed their situation. They've decided they will take Jill after all.
Good.
Roxanne Valerie Bradshaw, this court has found you guilty of handling stolen goods. I've taken into consideration your learned counsel's plea as to your determination to reform and also your present physical condition. However, I have a duty to the community as well as to the law, and it is this court's decision, therefore, that you will be imprisoned for a period of 6 months.
No.
I'm sorry, what did you say your name was again?
Watson. James Watson.
Right, Mr. Watson. Now, what is it that's so important that you can't tell me at the door?
Well, I have reason to believe that my wife is staying here.
Your wife?
Yes, Pixie.
Pixie Watson?
That's right.
Well, I'm sorry, you've been given a bum steer. There's nobody by that name staying here. You haven't got a picture of her or something, have you?
Oh, yes, I have.
This is your wife?
Yes. Don't know why she ran away from me. Probably something I said. I just want to talk to her.
Well, you wait here. I might be able to help you after all.
Hello, Wally.
Afternoon, Governor.
All ready for the next session?
I am, as a matter of fact. Only hope the women are too.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Anything to break the monotony.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean it like that. By the way, I had another look at that attic flat at our place. I think it'd be ideal for you.
I suppose so, but after living up in the hills, I'm not very excited at the prospect of living in a shoebox.
Oh, it's not a shoebox. And we've got a few odd bits and pieces you can have that'll make it really comfortable. Anyway, you've got to have somewhere to stay in the city, haven't you?
Pixie.
Hello. Well, I see you do recognize him.
Oh, yes. Judy, this is my husband, James.
Yes, we've met. But it's funny, I would have never picked him as your husband. That's not how you described him at all.
Yes, this is my husband, all right.
Well, I'll let you two lovebirds alone for a while. But later on, I want to have a talk with you, Pixie.
Darling, are you all right? I've been so worried about you.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm sorry I ran out on you like that, but, well, I just needed to get away by myself for a while.
Well, this is hardly by yourself.
Oh, you know what I mean.
What did I do, Pixie? Did I say something that upset you?
No, James, it wasn't you. It was me. Well, it was us.
Us?
Yes, it just wasn't working out. I love you, James, but it was our life together. Living in that awful little flat. I had nothing to do all day and you were always out working.
But I have to work. I know the job takes up a lot of time, but there's nothing I can do about that. I thought you'd settle down to it after a while, and, well, where do you think the money came from that you took from our account?
Oh, yes, well, I'm sorry I didn't ask you about that, but I was desperate. I had to have some money and... Well, you wouldn't want to see me walking around destitute, would you?
Oh, of course, I'm not worried about the money. I just want you to be happy.
You don't want it back?
Of course not. You must have needed it, or you wouldn't have taken it.
Oh, James, you see, that's the problem. You're too nice. And I know me, I'm never going to change.
You're trying to say it's over, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not really a surprise. I always knew I'd never be able to hold on to you. I'm not exciting enough, I suppose.
Oh, don't say that, James. It's not your fault. It's mine. I'm not mature enough for you.
Well, I won't bother you again. I think that's best, don't you?
Going back to the office?
Yes, I suppose so.
Oh, well, would you mind terribly dropping me off at a friend's place?
Of course not.
Oh, thanks. I'm just going to get my hat on my back. I won't be a tick.
Not exactly Christine Dior, is it?
No. Oh, well, you don't look too bad.
Probably just as well we haven't got a full-length mirror. Suppose I look like a circus tent.
You feeling all right?
Oh, fair enough.
All right. Just remember, the governor said you don't have to work if you don't want to.
Poor little bugger. Not much of a start, is it, being born in a prison?
Oh, I don't know. That's how I came into the world.
I'm going to miss you, Pixie. I still love you.
Oh, and I love you, James. You're a really nice man. But I know you'd be better off without me. I don't want to hurt you anymore. Oh. Now just drive off and don't look back. Goodbye. Oh, Philip.
Hello, darling. Who was the guy in the car?
Oh, a friend. An ex-friend, actually.
Just as well. Right. You ready for a big surprise?
What?
Our new home. I've just bought it.
Oh, Philip, it's beautiful. Do you mean it?
Sure do. Have to look after the future Mrs. Farnham, don't I?
Oh, darling.
Oh, that's very interesting. What's it supposed to be?
It's going to be a ladder.
That's the idea, Lizzie. Now, look, if you smooth the sides down, it won't look so much like a curled-up snake.
It is a bloody curled-up snake.
It's a very good one. Oh, Brandy, what's the matter? Can't you think of anything to make?
Can't do this sort of thing.
Oh, yes, you can. Why don't you try making an animal, a pig or a horse?
No, I said I can't. I don't want to.
Roxy, what are you doing back here? Oh, good, love. I didn't expect to see you back in here again.
Oh, I did. How long did you get?
6 months. 6 months? That means your baby's going to be born in here.
Yeah. It's a real drag.
All right, ladies, let's not disrupt Wally's class. Roxanne, why don't you try making something?
Don't you think I've been doing enough of that lately? Oops, I think she heard me.
Oh, I see. It's become a she, has it?
All right, come on, back to the modelling. It's kind of shaping up.
How does it look?
It's not good, eh?
I tried. I can't get her interested.
Well, if it isn't the wife basher's victim. You got an explanation? I mean, can you show me some bruises?
What are you talking about?
Come on, that little guy that was here this afternoon couldn't whip a bowl of cream.
Oh, no, not James. Eddie.
What?
Eddie was my first husband. He was the one who used to beat me up. Poor little James is my second husband.
Now, wait a minute. You told me that you left your husband because he used to beat you.
I did, about 12 months ago. I fibbed a little to you so you'd take me in.
Well, how many other little fibs have you told me?
Oh, none, really. You see, I left Eddie, got a divorce, and met James about 12 months later. He was so different, so kind and gentle and soft and so generous. He still is.
Well, why did you leave him?
Well, he was so kind and gentle and soft and generous and so boring. It was like living with a mouse, only not so exciting. You know, I even bought him some of those girly magazines, you know, to sort of try and give him a few ideas. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, but he seems such a nice guy.
Oh, he is, Jude. He's the nicest man I've ever met. He was nice for about the first 5 weeks, and then I couldn't stand it any longer, so I drew about $1,000 out of our joint bank account and shot through. I even asked him if he wanted the money back, and he said no. I mean, how nice can you get?
Yeah, well, I suppose it's for the best. I don't know.
Yes. It's sad, really. Do you know why he didn't like those girly magazines? Because they didn't have any crosswords in them. Oh, I really must fly, Philip. I've got so much to do before this afternoon. I'll see you soon, my darling.
Philip?
Oh, yes, the darling man. Oh, Judy, dear Judy, I don't want to disappoint you, but I'm leaving tonight.
Oh. Well, you don't mess around, do you? Where are you going?
I'm moving in with Philip until my divorce comes through, and then I'm getting married.
Again?
Yes, but this time it's for keeps. Philip's bought a lovely house. It's got everything. Pool, sauna, solarium.
No, wait a minute. Does Philip know about James and Eddie?
Oh, yes, of course. He understands perfectly. He's so wonderful. See this? Gave it to me this afternoon.
Oh, was that in a spa or in the pool?
Oh, look, I really must go. I've got so much shopping to do before this afternoon, and I've got to pack. I'll come and say goodbye properly before I go.
Right. Maybe she's hooked on wedding cake.
I thought Julia'd be dropping in this week with her flatmates. Looks as though they're tied up with studies.
So Mother's all alone, eh?
Oh, alone but not lonely. I've got plenty to keep me occupied.
Yes, you must be kept pretty busy being both father and mother to a couple of kids and being the governor.
They're hardly kids. Anyway, I thrive on it. Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Now, seriously, what do you really think of the attic?
Seriously, I don't really know. Look, the windows are so small and the ceiling slopes down. I just don't know. It's just not what I'm used to.
Of course not. But it'd be comfortable. And remember, you're seeing it completely bare. There are lots of ways you could make it pleasant.
How do you decorate a broom cupboard?
Oh, it's not as bad as that.
Oh, I don't know. It's just I'm so used to the open spaces.
Well, if you check the bloody roster, you'll find out whose turn it is to do the dishes. Oh, hello, Mr. Farnham.
Is Sandy in?
No, sorry, she's gone shopping.
Shopping?
Yeah, it's late night shopping tonight.
Damn. Look, do you mind if I wait for her?
Well, sure, but she could be quite a while, you know, and we do have rules about men being here after hours.
Don't worry. You're perfectly safe. I just want a word with her.
Look, couldn't it wait? I mean, she is going to go away with you tonight.
Well, that was the idea. But how would you explain this?
What's it say?
It says she's terribly sorry, but she's changed her mind. And she's decided to go back to her husband. I'd just like to know what she intends doing with that diamond engagement ring I gave her. I can tell you I've had a couple of Dear John letters in my time. But that's the first one that came by special courier.
Well, this was an unexpected pleasure. here I was lining myself up for a lonely counter tea at the local pub, and then this happens. Oh, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Glad of the company. With Paul gallivanting around, I would have been eating alone.
Tell me, what work does he do?
He's a trainee manager for a supermarket at the moment, but his heart's set on photography.
Ah, these days he's lucky to have a job at all. Better stick to the supermarket, I think.
True. Still, makes you wonder why you bother trying to get them a good education, doesn't it?
Let me get it straight. Julie's at university, but she's living with some friends, right?
Yes. She's 22 going on 12.
Oh, yeah. I got one of those too.
Well, then you know how it feels. Oh, Julie had a difficult time adjusting after her father died, but she's fine now.
She's still missing.
We all do. That's not why she left home, though. It was time. She knew it, and so did I.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Same thing happened with me and Mickey. Ah, we fought against it, and then we realised it was time too. You feel a bit terrible when it finally happens, but, I don't know. Maybe the two of them will meet when I move into the garret.
When? Up till dessert, it was if.
Yeah, well, that's the secret to me, you see. If you want to change my mind in a hurry, just give me a delicious meal, a couple of glasses of red, and some charming company.
Hi, DeGrasse, it's Ray.
Where the hell have you been?
Shopping. I'm sorry I didn't get back for dinner, but I met up with an old friend of mine. Don't know where the time went.
Yeah,
Got
well,
some
a friend
lovely
dropped
things,
in to
though.
see you.
Ah, here it is. It's for you, Judy, for being so marvellous to me.
Well, you shouldn't have done that. You've already done
I
enough.
know, but I wanted to. It's a book to put your telephone numbers in, but it's a funny one. It's got cartoons of nude men in it, and it's called Handy Dialing Digits.
Well, something I've always wanted, you know.
I've got to have a shower and oh my God, look at the time.
Pixie, I've got to talk to you in private.
Sure, as soon as I've had my shower. Oh, bugger!
Oh, I'll get it. What the hell are you doing? Collecting Building Society
There's so
passbooks?
much junk around. Never know what half the stuff is.
Amelia Priestley? Who's Amelia Priestley?
She's just a friend of mine. She asked me to hang on to her books so that she wouldn't draw so much money out. She's saving for a trip overseas.
Oh.
Be back in a flash.
Yeah.
Look, I really don't know why you're bothering. I mean, they've got plenty of babies' clothes in maternity.
I'm not having her wearing that second-hand stuff.
Well, what's it matter? I mean, it's only going to be a short time before you have to give it up.
What do you think would happen if I changed my mind?
What do you mean?
What if I didn't give her up?
Are you crazy? You've got to. It's half paid for.
That's right. Only half.
Yeah, but the Sheldons would want their money back.
Well, they wouldn't get it. I told you, the cops are hanging on to it.
I thought you said you had a contract.
It's for a loan, not for a baby. They can't do that. It's illegal.
Then they'd take you to court and prove that the $10,000 was actually theirs. I imagine your bank account couldn't stand close scrutiny. And God help any kid you were the mother of anyway. If you were willing to sell it, you'd get bored with it in a minute. And with no money to support it, you'd end up back in here before the kid was even out of nappies.
Oh, well. It was just a thought.
All set. Philip should be picking me up in a minute.
No, I don't think he will be somehow.
Why not?
Could we have a little talk in the other room, please? Now, look, Pixie, I've tried to say this to you before. While you were out shopping, you had a visitor. It was Philip.
Oh, was he angry?
Well, let's say that he was your average, ordinary, jilted boyfriend, yes.
Poor Philip.
I tried to talk him into going home and waiting for your call. Took me all my time to do that. He wanted to stay here. Now, that wouldn't have been a pretty scene.
Did he tell you about the note?
Yeah. Honey, it's none of my business. I don't want to interfere, but why did you do it?
Well, you see, it was after I spoke to Philip on the phone this afternoon. There I was out shopping, spending Jimmy's money, and suddenly I thought, why am I doing this to Jimmy? He's a wonderful person. He loves me. Why am I leaving him? So then I thought to myself, all right, you've had your fling, you've broken the monotony. Go home and start being a proper wife. Well, that's when I sent the note to Philip. I didn't want to tell you, Jude, because I felt stupid after the way I spoke about Jimmy this afternoon.
I'm going crazy. I'm sure I'm going crazy.
So you see, it's Jimmy picking me up, not Philip.
I do see. And I think that you've probably made the right decision there.
Oh, that'll be him now.
Well, I'll see you off, Pixie.
Oh, no, don't bother.
No, I
can manage.
insist. Come on, girls. She's going back to one of her old men. We'll see you off, you know?
Oh, please, don't bother. I can really manage.
No,
Jim
no,
will
we
be
wouldn't
back.
care
Just
about
wave
love.
to me from
No.
the door.
Come on, girls. We'll give her a good send-off. Well, I guess it's better the devil you know, eh?
Oh, look, that's close enough, please.
Okay, girls, back off. Let her get off on her own.
Jimmy will be embarrassed if you make a fuss. You know what he's like.
All right, honey. You keep in touch, you hear?
I will.
Bye-bye. Good luck.
Bye. 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 Hello, darling. Oh, my new dresses.
Who the hell was that?
Can I have a word with you? Oh, yeah, sure. Look, I've been trying to have a word with you, but there's always too many people around. I suppose you're worried about the money and the booze.
Yes,
Well,
I'm
there's nothing to worry about. I know we didn't agree on a price for you to pay me for keeping it for you and Joe, but what if I give you $20 and we call it square?
No, I want the bottle of brandy.
Well, what about the money?
No, you keep that. I want the bottle.
Well, when do you want it?
As soon as you can.
Oh, yeah, okay, right.
I'll get it. Who is it?
Police, you're open the door.
Hello?
Miss Bryant? Inspector Lane, Miss Bryant. We're looking for a girl named Sandra Mason. Well, she could be going under the name of Sandy Nichols, Pixie Mason, Amelia Priestley, or Pixie Watson.
Pixie Watson, yeah, that's her married name. I've met her husband.
Oh, yeah? Which one?
Huh?
Now, this is Mr. Brian Molan.
What do you mean, which one? James, of course. I mean, she left Eddie over 12 months ago.
Was she in?
No, as a matter of fact, she's moved out with a friend.
Yeah, that'd be right.
What's going on around here?
Actually, I'm Sandra's husband.
Seems there's quite a few.
Would you do mind not going up there, please? Now, what's wrong with getting married a couple of times? I mean, a lot of girls do that. There's no crime, is it?
It is if they're careless enough not to get a divorce from one before they marry the next one. I've got a warrant for her arrest for bigamy and fraud.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing